Welcome back to the 12th night of Kyphi. Tonight we're going to be completing adding the dry ingredients to our Kyphi. I'm adding gum arabic to a base of dragon's blood. So let me explain to you why I did that. Gum arabic is going to be the last of the dry ingredients that we're going to add to the Kyphi. I've already added the dragon's blood to everything we compounded to this point so that the dragon's blood would lend its power to strengthening everything else in the mix. I'm not going to leave the gum arabic out of that, so I saved a little bit of the dragon's blood to hold for tonight, for when I'm going to compound the gum arabic. So, let me take a little time to do that, and then I will be back to explain to you the addition of this last ingredient, in the dry ingredient, I should say, in the Kyphi. So what we have here is 2 parts. I actually have a little bit of it still in the measuring cup I've been using, but 2 cups of the gum arabic, and it's looking pink. For those of you who are wondering, why is it pink instead of yellowy? And that is because it has the dragon's blood powder also blended in with it. So what is the purpose of the gum arabic in the Kyphi? This last ingredient is a simple ingredient. Gum arabic is what brings everything together, binds it. It is a reminder to us of the axiom that everything is greater combined than any one of its individual parts. So the gum arabic, simply bringing everything together. We have one last thing that we do at the end of the making of our dry ingredients. We marry them, and that is simply by using a little more of the wine, the same wine that we've been soaking our fruit and our honey and everything together in, and we marry the ingredients of the dry mix of our Kyphi. Our meditation tonight then is, as we stir this and bring it all together, we're not adding enough wine that we're making a mud pie. We're slightly dampening and then blending so that that gets through everything. Our meditation tonight focuses on the power of the whole being greater than any one of its individual parts. That brings us to the 12th night of Kyphi. Traditionally, it was 16 nights to manufacture the blend, which was Kyphi A. So to honor that, what my first teacher, who first showed me how to make Kyphi, had us do is, the 12th night, we brought everything together. We brought everything together. bound it, acknowledge that its sum was greater than its parts. Meditated on the times in our lives, most especially in circle and working with our partners, working with spiritual energy, the times at which the sum is greater than the parts. And when we've added the wine to marry it, and the only reason I am spreading it out a little bit is if there's a little bit of a well in the inside, it helps it dry out a little bit better. And if I see something I don't like, I take it out. So, how do we arrive at the 16 nights of making Kyphi? Is for the next 4 nights. My job is to mix the Kyphi, blending, furthering the marriage of all of these dry ingredients, and every time I'm doing that, take the time to think about when we do our workings in our magic circle, when we do spell work, when we are in relation to those we care about in this world and come together with them, when we work in community with others, the focus on the power of the Kyphi for the 13th, 14th, 15th, and 16th nights is simply to visit the Kyphi, to stir it, to further blend and marry it, and to meditate on the things which become greater than the sum of their individual parts. My priest described it that it was a celebration of mirth and reverence. Yes, we were studying that couplet at the time, and you all know how powerful that couplet is to me. That our lives, when we look at all of the moving, emotional, joyful, grateful, reverent, beautiful moments of them, all of those moments combine to be something above what we can ever conceive of as the wholeness of our life. It lifts our life out of the here and now to another time and a place where it is magnified, just as we have by adding the dragon's blood, magnified what are the dry ingredients of the Kyphi. So the meditation on the 4 ending nights of the dry mix of the Kyphi is almost communal in nature. Every night, just spend a couple of minutes stirring, meditating on the aspects of your life which are greater than when they are in combination with. So I will be thinking about my circle, my coven, within which I experience that kind of magnification of energy every time we come together. I'm going to think about my friendships, my work, what gets done there, my marriage. I'm going to think about community, what I bring to community, what others bring to community, and what the wholeness of that is, which is so beyond the individual things that make it up. The 4 nights of mixing, the marrying of the Kyphi, is a reflection on what we say is a traditional welcoming coming into circle. Together, we are more than we can ever be apart. So for the next 4 nights, I'm going to return to my beloved marriage of Kyphi, and I'm going to spend time with it. Probably just a little bit of time each night. It's not meant to be heavy or onerous these last 4 days. The things that we should be grateful for will be obvious and they will leap out to us. And sometimes we're inspired in that meditation to remember that the power of what we bring, our individual contributions, is like one of the elements that we mixed into this dry mix for the Kyphi. We are beautiful and powerful and perfect in our own right. And then we blend with others. We blend with other energy. We blend perhaps with the gods themselves. And that's what our 4 nights, 13th through the 16th night of Kyphi, are. A meditation every night that's personal and about what is the sum of our life and our experiences and what is the greater than it becomes in its totality. I'm going to return to you at the end of those nights of meditation, having made the Kyphi be the 16 traditional nights of at least one of the old versions of Kyphi, to show you how to take the step of making the Kyphi pellets. I wish you mirth and reverence. Merry part.